Hello, outperformers, and welcome to the second installment of Courageous Leadership, and giving you some tools to put in your leadership toolbox to help with your mindset, your messaging, as well as moving forward in these tumultuous times that is the coronavirus and the global pandemic that we are all facing. So what are some things that we can do? First off, to go into a mindset strategy that you can have. I will oftentimes say that you condition the mind like you condition the body. The same way that you don't get fit or you don't get unfit from doing one workout or skipping one workout. Managing your mindset works exactly the same way. And I only talk about it in regards to the first mindset strategy that you can have in this installment is to actually manage very consciously and intentionally your inputs on a day-to-day basis. And I know I've been guilty of this. I'd be willing to bet you've probably been guilty of this at some point throughout the last, let's say, week or two, of just sitting there continuously hitting refresh and spending perhaps multiple hours just being consumed by what's going on with this global pandemic and everything that is the coronavirus. And whether it's you or me or the Dolly freaking llama, like you can't possibly be your best outperforming self and keep a positive mindset if all you are reading about is, or watching or listening to, has to do with the virus and death rates and lack of resources and uncertainty going on around us. If you are spending multiple hours or a tremendous amount of time dedicated to those inputs every single day, it absolutely is affecting your mindset. And you're probably listening to this or watching it right now and you're saying, well, Scott, I have to know what's going on. It's critical to my personal life or it's critical to my business. I get that. And there is no hard and fast rule here, but you have to consciously and intentionally decide how much do you actually need to consume information to feel like you are informed and you are educated on what is going on versus, you know what, I know enough, I'm good. I can move forward and I can now be intentional with working my plan and doing what I set out to do to make it a productive and a proactive outperforming day. And I'm betting if you really look at it, and especially if I think most schools are already canceled at the time that I'm recording this, but if something happens to be canceled for your kids, let's take school, for example, you are going to hear about it. I guarantee you'll get a call, you'll get a text, something will come through. You don't need to sit there and continuously refresh what's going on to get wind of that information. The same way that if something happens in your state or if something happens just in the country in general, you will find out about it if there's something that happens that significantly is going to impact what it is that you're doing. So this is no small thing, to just very consciously and intentionally think about how am I managing these inputs on a day-to-day basis, and how am I actually going to dedicate my time and saying that I am actually going to spend this set amount of time educating and informing myself on what's going on, but I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole that we've all gone down where you can end up just losing yourself in it, because again, you can't possibly be your best if you are doing that, especially on a daily basis. So that's number one, manage the inputs. Number two is when we're talking about messaging. In the first installment, I talked about demonstrating empathy and really seeking to understand people and to let them feel like they're understood. But once we get past that, what paralyzes people in a time like this is fear and is uncertainty. And whether it's your family, your company, your team, your direct reports, or anything else, when we are uncertain or fearful about anything, we don't act. We just shrink and we kind of keep it close to the vest, and we won't actually take action towards anything because it's our innate biological response when we see anything that's fearful. So what you are trying to do from a messaging standpoint is you are trying to, I guess, two things I would give you, and this could be an entirely different, longer podcast by itself, but I'm trying to keep it short and sweet. Whatever you are looking at doing, try to, as intentionally as possible, to either create structure for people because structure helps people to feel certain, or to really focus on the progress that people can be making on a day-to-day basis. Come back to the controllables and come back to, even if there are some uncertain things out there for you personally, professionally, or otherwise, think about how can I move the ball down the field? How can I make a little bit of progress? Because that'll make me feel more certain and make me feel better about what it is that I'm doing. And how can we still provide some amount of structure for what we're doing on a day-to-day basis? Because again, these two things in and of themselves will help people feel more certain about what's going on in these uncertain times. Third one, when we're talking about moving forward, is there is opportunity in any change that happens. And I'm not talking about anything strange like opportunity as far as profiting on human suffering or anything like that. But what I'm actually talking about in regards to this is there is opportunity, I'm betting, for something you've been neglecting throughout the course of this. And I'm not sure if that comes across as strong, but I'll just give you an example from my own life. Like, speaking is the largest component of my business. It's my primary revenue generator. And quite honestly, to wake up and to look at how it's probably going to be at least 90 days plus that I seriously doubt I'll have a live event or I'll have a live speaking engagement. And I threw a little bit of a pity party for myself and said, I can't believe all this is happening to me. But quite honestly, when I look at myself in the mirror, what is the opportunity in that? Well, I haven't probably been as dedicated and as disciplined to pursuing the virtual training route, either on a small level or on a larger webinar level, for a long period of time. And there's an opportunity in that for me actually with my business where I can pursue that with a greater vigor and a greater just attention. And when I look at that opportunity, is sometimes this can be something that actually serves as a little bit of a wake-up call. That, you know what, I know that I should be doing this, and I really haven't been doing it up to this point. So whatever this looks like for you, it could be something business-wise. It could be, you know what, Scott, I know I haven't been taking very good care of myself. Like, I could be doing the very basic things with nutrition, with hydration, with sleep, with stress, to be able to better strengthen my immune system because I've been neglecting that. Or maybe because you're going to be spending probably a lot more time at home, maybe it's that household project that you've been neglecting this whole time that finally you can tackle and you can pay attention to that just because you're going to be there a little bit more. There is opportunity in any change that's going on, and I would encourage you that instead of getting stuck and playing the woe is me, like I can't believe that this is happening to me, what is the actual opportunity that exists? And it's been very interesting for me to watch some of the other examples of great leadership I've seen out there where you see restaurants that are offering, curbside dining and delivery that weren't doing that before, but they're on the ball and they're now making that a part of their business. Personal trainers that usually see people face to face that are now offering remote and virtual training options. There's just a lot of people now doing very interesting, very kind of out of the box things that they probably weren't doing before, that shows me that they are moving forward and that they're thinking about how can I kind of find the opportunities in this unfortunate time that's just more or less forcing my hand or forcing me to do this. So again, 3 things we covered today: the mindset, manage those inputs on a day-to-day basis and how much attention you're actually paying to what is going on. 2, from a messaging standpoint, create the certainty in the uncertain time with the structure, with the focus on progress, and then look for whatever opportunities are actually coming from this. Because you do those 3 things, I guarantee you're going to have more outperforming days, and you're going to be the type of courageous leader that others want to follow. Thanks again for being here. Stay tuned for part 3 and keep outperforming. Have a great day.